Good evening. I'm going to start with a prayer by Abdu'l-Baha for the northeastern states. O thou kind Lord, praise be unto thee, that thou hast shown us the highway of guidance. Open the doors of the kingdom and manifested thyself through the Sun of reality. To the blind thou hast given sight. To the deaf thou hast granted hearing. Thou hast resuscitated the dead. Thou hast enriched the poor. Thou hast shown the way to those who have gone astray. Thou hast led those with parched lips to the fountain of guidance. Thou hast suffered the thirsty fish to reach the ocean of reality, and thou hast invited the wandering birds to the rose garden of grace. O thou Almighty, we are thy servants and thy poor ones. We are remote and yearn for thy presence. Our thirst for the water of thy fountain are ill, longing for thy healing. We are walking in thy path and have no aim or hope save the diffusion of thy fragrance, so that all souls may raise the cry of, O God, guide us to the straight path. May their eyes be open to behold the light, and may they be freed from the darkness of ignorance. May they gather around the lamp of thy guidance. May every portionless one receive a share, and may the deprived become the confidants of thy mysteries. O Almighty, look upon us with the glance of mercifulness. Grant us heavenly confirmation. Bestow upon us the breath of the Holy Spirit, so that we may be assisted in thy service, and like unto brilliant stars shine in these regions with the light of thy guidance. Verily thou art the powerful, the mighty, the wise, and the seeing. Okay, I'm going to read some more prayers. Intone, O my servant, the verses of God that have been received by thee, as intoned by them who have drawn nigh unto him, that the sweetness of thy melody may kindle thine own soul and attract the hearts of all men. Whoso reciteth in the privacy of his chamber the verses revealed by God, the scattering angels of the Almighty shall scatter abroad the fragrance of the words uttered by his mouth, and shall cause the heart of every righteous man to throb. Though he may at first remain unaware of its effect, yet the virtue of the grace vouchsafed unto him must needs sooner or later exercise its influence upon his soul. Thus have the mysteries of the revelation of God been decreed by virtue of the will of him who is the source of power and wisdom. Here's a prayer by the Bab. Glory be unto thee, O God. How can I make mention of thee? while thou art sanctified from the praise of all mankind. Magnified be thy name, O God. Thou art the King, the eternal truth. Thou knowest what is in the heavens and on the earth, and unto thee must all return. Thou hast sent down thy divinely ordained revelation, according to a clear measure. Praised art thou, O Lord. At thy behest thou dost render victorious whomsoever thou willest. And through the hosts of heaven and earth and whatever existeth between them, thou art the sovereign, the eternal truth, the Lord of invincible might. Glorified art thou, O Lord. Thou forgivest at all times the sins of such among thy servants as implore thy pardon. Wash away my sins, and the sins of those who seek thy forgiveness at dawn, who pray to thee in the daytime and in the night season, who yearn after naught save God, who offer up whatsoever God hath graciously bestowed upon them, who celebrate thy praise at morn and eventide, and who are not remiss in their duties. The Bob. Hi, Nick. Wow. Long time no see. You should tell me where you are and what you're doing. I heard that, I can't think of the name of it. Desert Rose Baha'i School in Arizona. They're trying to create an organic garden, and they were trying to get in touch with you. So get in touch with them. Let's see. I'm not going to ask if anybody has any special prayer requests, because I know that Lita's going to ask me to say the Tablet of Ahmad, and I don't know if I can. But if I will, I will. But if anybody else has any other requests, please submit them so I can pray for you, whatever you want. I'm going to say a prayer for husbands. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh my God. This thy handmaiden is calling upon thee, trusting in thee, turning her face unto thee, imploring thee to shed thy heavenly bounties upon her, and to disclose unto her thy spiritual mysteries. O my Lord, make the eyes of my husband to see. Rejoice thou his heart with the light of the knowledge of thee. Draw thou his mind unto thy luminous beauty. Cheer thou his spirit by revealing unto him thy manifest splendors. O my Lord, lift thou the veil from before his sight. Rain down thy plenteous bounties upon him. Intoxicate him with the wine of love for thee. Make him one of thine angels, whose feet walk upon this earth, even as their souls are soaring through the high heavens. Make him a brilliant lamp, shining out with the light of thy wisdom in the midst of thy people. Verily thou art the precious, the ever-bestowing, the open of hand. Glory be to thee, O Lord my God. I beg of thee by thy name, through which he who is thy beauty hath been stablished upon the throne of thy cause, and by thy name through which thou changest all things, and gatherest together all things, and callest to account all things, and rewardest all things, and preservest all things, and sustainest all things. I beg of thee to guard this handmaiden, who hath fled for refuge to thee, and hath sought the shelter of him in whom thou thyself art manifest, and hath put her whole trust and confidence in thee. She is sick, O my God, and hath entered beneath the shadow of the tree of thy healing, afflicted, and hath fled to the city of thy protection, diseased, and hath sought the fountainhead of thy favors, sorely vexed, and hath hasted to attain the wellspring of thy tranquility, burdened with sin, and hath set her face toward the court of thy forgiveness. Attire her by thy sovereignty and thy loving kindness, O my God and my beloved, with the raiment of thy balm and thy healing, and make her quaff of the cup of thy mercy and thy favors. Protect her, moreover, from every affliction and ailment, from all pain and sickness, and from whatsoever may be abhorrent unto thee. Thou in truth art immensely exalted above all else except thyself. Thou art verily the healer, the all-sufficing, the preserver, the ever-forgiving, the most merciful. Well, since I see Martha Archer here. Hi, Martha. It's great to have you here. And since you're here, why don't I say a prayer for our grandchild, which will be born in September. If I can find, there's a special prayer here. All right, let's see. Here it is. My Lord, I praise thee and I thank thee for that whereby thou hast favored thine humble maidservant, thy slave, beseeching and supplicating thee, because thou hast verily guided her unto thine obvious kingdom, and caused her to hear thine exalted call in the contingent world, and to behold thy signs, which prove the appearance of thy victorious reign over all things. Oh, my Lord, I dedicate that which is actually, you know what? This is actually for mothers. Let me say one for children, for babies. I mean, that prayer is to be said by the mother of the child. So here's one. Praised be thou, O Lord my God. Graciously grant that this infant may be fed from the breast of thy tender mercy and loving providence, and be nourished with the fruit of thy celestial trees. Suffer him not to be committed to the care of anyone save thee, inasmuch as thou thyself, through the potency of thy sovereign will and power, didst create and call him into being. There is none other God but thee, the Almighty, the All-Knowing. Lauded art thou, O my best beloved. Waft over him the sweet savors of thy transcendent bounty and the fragrances of thy holy bestowals. Enable him then to seek shelter beneath the shadow of thy most exalted name, O thou who holdest in thy grasp the kingdom of names and attributes. Verily thou art potent to do what thou willest, and Thou art indeed the mighty, the exalted, the ever-forgiving, the gracious, the generous, the merciful. And now I'm going to say Leda's favorite prayer, which is the Tablet of Ahmad. So this prayer will be parts of it will be a little bit difficult to understand if you're not a Baha'i. This was one of the ways in which Baha'u'llah announced his station as the messenger of God for this day. It was during his third banishment in Adrianople that he revealed this tablet. And it has very special power. So I say it whenever I need special help or guidance. I say this prayer. Or intervention. He is the King, the all-knowing, the wise. Lo, the nightingale of paradise singeth upon the twigs of the tree of eternity, with holy and sweet melodies, proclaiming to the sincere ones the glad tidings of the nearness of God, calling the believers in the divine unity to the court of the presence of the generous one, informing the severed ones of the message which hath been revealed by God the King, the glorious, the peerless, guiding the lovers to the seat of sanctity and to this resplendent beauty. Verily, this is that most great beauty foretold in the books of the messengers, through whom truth shall be distinguished from error, and the wisdom of every command shall be tested. Verily, he is the tree of life, that bringeth forth the fruits of God, the exalted, the powerful, the great. O Ahmad, bear thou witness that verily he is God, and there is no God but him, the King, the Protector, the Incomparable, the Omnipotent, and that the one whom he hath sent forth by the name of Ali was the true one from God, to whose commands we are all conforming. Say, O people, be obedient to the ordinances of God, which have been enjoined in the Bayan by the glorious, the wise one. Verily, he is the King of the messengers, and his book is the mother book, did ye but know. Thus doth the nightingale utter his call unto you from this prison. He hath but to deliver this clear message. Whosoever desireth, let him turn aside from this counsel, and whosoever desireth, let him choose the path to his Lord. O people, if ye deny these verses, by what proof have ye believed in God? Produce it, O assemblage of false ones. Nay, by the one in whose hand is my soul, they are not and never shall be able to do this, even should they combine to assist one another. O Ahmad, forget not my bounties while I am absent. Remember my days during thy days, and my distress and banishment in this remote prison. And be thou so steadfast in my love that thy heart shall not waver, even if the swords of the enemy's rain blows upon thee, and all the heavens and the earth arise against thee. Be thou as a flame of fire to mine enemies, and a river of life eternal to my loved ones. And be not of those who doubt. And if thou art overtaken by affliction in my path, or degradation for my sake, be not thou troubled thereby. Rely upon God, thy God, and the Lord of thy fathers. For the people are wandering in the paths of delusion, bereft of discernment, to see God with their own eyes, or hear his melody with their own ears. Thus have we found them, as thou also dost witness. Thus have their superstitions become veils between them and their own hearts, and kept them from the path of God, the exalted, the great. Be thou assured in thyself that verily he who turns away from this beauty hath also turned away from the messengers of the past, and showeth pride towards God from all eternity to all eternity. Learn well this tablet, O Ahmad. Chant it during thy days, and withhold not thyself therefrom. For verily God hath ordained for the one who chants it the reward of 100 martyrs and a service in both worlds. These favors have we bestowed upon thee as a bounty on our part and a mercy from our presence, that thou mayest be of those who are grateful. By God, should one who is in affliction or grief read this tablet with absolute sincerity, God will dispel his sadness, solve his difficulties, and remove his afflictions. Verily he is the merciful, the compassionate. Praise be to God, the Lord of all the worlds. I'm going to say the Fire Tablet by Baha'u'llah. Oh, excuse me. This is an amazing, amazing prayer. In the name of God, the most ancient, the most great. Indeed, the hearts of the sincere are consumed in the fire of separation. Where is the gleaming of the light of thy countenance, O beloved of the worlds? Those who are near unto thee have been abandoned in the darkness of desolation. Where is the shining of the morn of thy reunion, O desire of the worlds? The bodies of thy chosen ones lie quivering on distant sands. Where is the ocean of thy presence, O enchanter of the worlds? Longing hands are uplifted to the heaven of thy grace and generosity. Where are the rains of thy bestowal, O answerer of the worlds? The infidels have arisen in tyranny on every hand. Where is the compelling power of thine ordaining pen, O conqueror of the worlds? The barking of dogs is loud on every side. Where is the lion of the forest of thy might, O chastiser of the worlds? Coldness hath gripped all mankind. Where is the warmth of thy love, O fire of the worlds? Calamity hath reached its height. Where are the signs of thy succor, O salvation of the worlds? Darkness hath befallen most of the peoples. Where is the brightness of thy splendor, O radiance of the worlds? The necks of men are stretched out in malice. Where are the swords of thy vengeance, O destroyer of the worlds? Abasement hath reached its lowest depth. Where are the emblems of thy glory, O glory of the worlds? Sorrows have afflicted the revealer of thy name, the all-merciful. Where is the joy of the dayspring of thy revelation, O delight of the worlds? Anguish hath befallen all the peoples of the earth. Where are the ensigns of thy gladness, O joy of the worlds? Thou seest the dawning place of thy signs veiled by evil suggestions. Where are the fingers of thy might, O power of the worlds? Sore thirst hath overcome all men. Where is the river of thy bounty, O mercy of the worlds? Greed hath made captive most of mankind. Where are the embodiments of detachment, O Lord of the worlds? Thou seest this wronged one lonely in exile. Where are the hosts of the heaven of thy command, O sovereign of the worlds? I have been forsaken in a foreign land. Where are the emblems of thy faithfulness, O trust of the worlds? The agonies of death have laid hold on all men. Where is the surging of thine ocean of eternal life, O life of the worlds? The whisperings of Satan have been breathed to every creature. Where is the meteor of thy fire, O light of the world? The drunkenness of passion hath perverted most of mankind. Where are the day springs of purity, O desire of the world? Thou seest this wronged one in tyranny among the Syrians. Where is the radiance of thy dawning light, O light of the worlds? I have been forbidden to speak forth. Then from where will spring thy melodies, O nightingale of the worlds? Most of the people are enwrapped in fancy and idle imaginings. Where are the exponents of thy certitude, O assurance of the worlds? Baha is drowning in a sea of tribulation. Where is the ark of thy salvation, O Savior of the world? The day spring of thine utterance, thou seest the day spring of thine utterance in the darkness of creation. Where is the sun of the heaven of thy grace, O light giver of the worlds? The lamps of truth and purity, of loyalty and honor have been put out. Where are the signs of thine avenging wrath, O mover of the worlds? Canst thou see any who have championed thyself, or who ponder on what hath befallen him in the pathway of thy love? Now doth my pen halt, O beloved of the worlds. The branches of the divine lote tree lie broken by the onrushing gales of destiny. Where are the banners of thy succor, O salvation, O champion of the world? This face is hidden in the dust of slander. Where are the breezes of thy compassion, O mercy of the world? The robe of sanctity is sullied by the people of deceit. Where is the vesture of thy holiness, O adorner of the world? The sea of grace is stilled for what the hands of men have wrought. Where are the waves of thy bounty, O desire of the worlds? The door leading to the divine presence is locked through the tyranny of thy foes. Where is the key of thy bestowal, O unlocker of the worlds? The leaves are yellowed by the poisoning winds of sedition. Where is the downpour of the clouds of thy bounty, O giver of the worlds? The universe is darkened with the dust of sin. Where are the breezes of thy forgiveness, O forgiver of the world? This youth is lonely in a desolate land. Where is the rain of thy heavenly grace, O bestower of the world? O supreme pen, we have heard thy most sweet call in the eternal realm. Give thou ear unto what the tongue of grandeur uttereth, O wronged one of the worlds. Were it not for the cold, how would the heat of thy words prevail, O expounder of the worlds? Were it not for calamity, how would the sun of thy patience shine, O light of the worlds? Lament not because of the wicked. Thou wert created to bear and endure, O patience of the worlds. How sweet was thy dawning on the horizon of the covenant among the stirrers of sedition, O love of the worlds. By thee the banner of independence was planted on the highest peaks, and the sea of bounty surged, O rapture of the worlds. By thine aloneness the sun of oneness shone, and by thy banishment the land of unity was adorned. Be patient, O thou exile of the worlds. We have made abasement the garment of glory, and affliction the adornment of thy temple, O pride of the worlds. Thou seest the hearts are filled with hate, and to overlook is thine, O thou concealer of the sins of the worlds. When the swords flash, go forward. When the shafts fly, press onward, O thou sacrifice of the worlds. Dost thou wail, or shall I wail? Rather shall I weep at the fewness of thy champions, O thou who hast caused the wailing of the world. Verily I have heard thy call, O all-glorious beloved. And now is the face of Baha flaming with the heat of tribulation and with the fire of thy shining word, and he hath risen up at the place of sacrifice, looking toward thy pleasure, O ordainer of the world. O Ali Akbar, thank thy Lord for this tablet, whence thou canst breathe the fragrance of my meekness, and know it hath beset us in the path of God, the adored of all the worlds. Should all the servants read and ponder this, there shall be kindled in their veins a fire that shall set aflame the worlds. Thank you for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to type them in. I really appreciate your having spent this time with me, and I look forward to seeing you again. God bless you. And as we say in the Baha'i faith, Allahu Abha, God is most glorious.